Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to the #1 channel on real estate. Now before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, and if you enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe to be part of the Daily Hit family. Now let's get back to the video. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your life, and it's also a very expensive one. There are so many things to consider when buying a home, and it can be hard to know what questions to ask before you take the plunge. We've made this video for anyone who's looking to buy a property or is just curious about how people do it. We cover 3 key points that every person shopping should know before they commit. 3 things to know before you buy a home. Important housing market variables, such as those that we'll go over in this video, may help you decide when and how to buy. If you've been thinking about the housing market as a potential buyer for some time, you might be wondering whether now is a good time to buy or not. There's no simple answer to that question, because so much is dependent on your individual circumstances, but there are a few things to think about. In this video, we'll talk about 3 of them. Number 1. Interest rates are near all-time lows. Mortgage interest rates are at a historic low right now. For the past year, interest rates on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage have stayed around 3%, and they've even fallen below that at times. Rates were significantly lower than 5% as recently as late 2018, and they remained in a range of 7 to 8% throughout most of the 1990s. Low interest rates can increase your purchasing power and make a house more affordable. For example, let's say you're thinking about buying a house for $300,000. If you put down 20%, that's $60,000 towards the purchase, and your mortgage will be around $240,000. If your interest rate was 3%, the monthly payment on that sum for a 30-year mortgage with a fixed rate would be $1,012. If it was 3.5%, it would be $1,078, a difference of $66 per month. But you should also remember that in addition to your mortgage, you'll have to pay taxes and insurance, which is determined by region. Anyway, in the example we just went over, the dollar difference amounts to about a 6.5% increase in the payment, which may not add much to a smaller loan. However, for larger mortgages and those requiring private mortgage insurance, the difference could be substantial. If interest rates and home values rise at the same time, affordability can be jeopardized. Number 2. Growth in home values. According to Zillow economists, home values in the United States are likely to rise by at least 10% this year, and perhaps by much more. So it's likely that by December, you'll pay much more for your home than you would have in January. If you expect your income to rise during that time, the additional cash might help you avoid some of the cost of purchasing a home. When it comes to housing, most experts advise spending no more than 30% of your income. You might also want to keep an eye on how rising costs may impact what you can afford and whether now is the right time to buy or not. The cost of housing in local markets may differ considerably. Therefore, you could discover that homes in your search area are still reasonably priced despite the rate hikes. Number 3. Pros and cons depend on the season. If you're searching for the most houses to purchase, spring may be the best time, since that's when more sellers put their properties on the market. In addition, because spring is when buyers arrive in force, you'll probably face more competition, which might lead to bidding battles and paying over asking price in super hot markets. In the fall, the number of houses for sale will likely be reduced since there will be fewer to choose from. However, the amount of purchasers will also likely reduce due to the cooler weather. Keep in mind both the spring and fall seasons while attempting to find a balance between choice and competition. There are, of course, a few more things to consider, such as how long you plan to stay in the home. Even for experienced investors, timing the market is tough, so it's critical to bear in mind that the ideal moment to buy is when it works best for you. Buying a home can be one of the biggest decisions you make in your life. It's important to know what to look for and what to ask about before making such a large purchase. In this video, we outlined 3 key things that every buyer should know before buying a home. We hope that by learning this information, you'll feel more confident and prepared when it comes time to buy your own house. Are there any other questions that you have about the process? Let us know and we'd be happy to help.